Buongiorno, buon popolo. This week we have produced a booklet of services for evening prayer on Sundays. This has been sent to every household in our church family and is available on the Worship Resources page of the parish website. They're designed for use at our 5 p.m. Zoom Sunday services, but they can also be used at any time. The booklet has a 4-week cycle, and each week there are different psalms to read. The psalms are the hymn book of the Hebrew Scriptures, and although some of them are up to 3,000 years old, they are vibrant with their use of imagery and poetic language, expressing every human emotion from joy and wonder to sadness and despair. The Psalms recognise the roller coaster of life and do not flinch from expressing anger with God, as well as longing and hope. I do hope that you find the booklets useful and helpful in your own devotional life. The government has announced that places of worship can open for services from the 4th of July. We're waiting for specific guidelines from the National Church, but we anticipate that any service will be subject to social distancing and that the recommended distance of 2 metres is the prudent measure for us to use. We therefore anticipate services which involve the use of 12 separate pews here in the main nave, which means that up to 12 people or bubbles can worship together. And by bubble, I mean couples or family groups in the same pew. We plan to hold 2 such services on Monday the 6th of July at 10 a.m. and Tuesday the 7th of July at 6:30 p.m. We don't yet know whether these might be Eucharists. We will need to invite people to sign up for these services, and they will be an experiment for us to see what works and what doesn't work. But based on our experience, we will then organise further public services in subsequent weeks. So do keep in touch with our Facebook page, our Facebook communications group, or our website for further information, as and when it comes. In the meantime, the church will now be routinely open for private prayer on Sundays from 11 till 12 and on Wednesdays from 2 to 3:30. We will also continue to broadcast a recorded weekly Eucharist at 10 a.m. on Sundays via our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and the weekly Zoom service at 5 p.m. on Sunday evenings. Don't forget also that morning and evening prayer is streamed live on our Facebook page at 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and these services are also recorded so they can be watched at other times. In addition, during these summer weeks, our breakfast church families are invited to bring a picnic and sit in socially distant groups of 6 every Sunday on the church field from 12 till 1 p.m, weather permitting. And if anyone would like to walk past to say hello, they'd be very welcome. The food bank box will also be available for gifts of food. My hunch is that the rules about outdoor gatherings will relax soon, and this means that we might consider holding outdoor services and other meetings on the field. So do keep in touch with our website and social media for information, which will also be included in the weekly paper bulletin sent to those households that don't have devices to access the internet. Whilst access to the church is necessarily limited, this is a good time for the work on the gallery and baptistry project to begin, and we are looking at a start date in mid to late July, lasting about 9 weeks. We will be able to use the church when the builders are not here, so this won't interfere too much with the hybrid pattern that we are offering over the summer. I hope that the range of worship and activity will allow everyone the opportunity to draw on the spiritual support that our St Francis Church community can offer, and to feel a sense of fellowship in spite of this season of separation. I know that people have been supporting one another via telephone and practical help. We have restarted our Place of Welcome project with socially distant outdoor meetings, as well as a weekly Zoom tea and toast for our young people and a weekly Zoom Bible study on Thursdays from 7 till 8. The Eco Group has continued to meet and is planning the development of a sanctuary garden and the planting of fruit trees, and our Bee project is also ongoing. It's also possible that activities might start in our church hall any time after the 4th of July, but that will still depend on the guidance for community halls, which is still awaited. Also, on the 4th of July, Yvette will be licensed as our new curate. Sadly, her ordination has been delayed until at least October, but she will start work on that day and will join us for our online worship on the 5th of July. We will advertise opportunities for socially distanced meetings in the subsequent days, and with the mailing that has been sent out to our parish church families, there is a flyer which I sent earlier in the year which tells you a bit about her. At the same time, we prepare to say farewell to John and Sally. John's final Sunday will be the 9th of August, and I hope that by then we'll be able to organise a socially distanced picnic on the church field so that as many people as possible can gather to say goodbye. In the meantime, we assure them of our prayers and good wishes. We continue to be very grateful to everyone in our church family who supports us financially through planned giving, donations, and those who, I hope, are storing their envelopes at home. If you have envelopes and would like to bring them on one of the occasions when the church is open for prayer, we will be glad to receive them. If you are not yet a regular giver and might be prepared to join our planned giving scheme, please do get in touch with me and I'll give your details to John Telfer, our planned giving officer. He'll be happy to help you. Inevitably, the pandemic has caused a severe dent in our expected income, especially from the church hall rentals, and the PCC has redesignated some of our reserves to make good the anticipated deficit for the year. We plan to hold a gift day in the autumn, and I do encourage you to plan to make a one-off donation at that time, perhaps as a thanksgiving for blessings received in spite of the coronavirus. We're lucky in our church family, to my knowledge, that no one has been adversely afflicted by the illness, but certainly in our wider society there have been many affected people. And it is for such a society that the church strives to exist, as a place where lives can be brought closer to God in worship, through lives shared and through our endeavours to serve in whatever ways that we can. St. Francis of Assisi encourages us to do this in a spirit of love, humility and joy, and I continue to long for the day when we will be able to share properly together in person in our church. Until then, in his words, I wish you pax et bonum, peace and all good.